They cancel flights like at the drop of the hat, and whenever they cancel a flight, there's always someone at the airport just freaking out. Just there, no, 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 no. Like he's gonna say no enough. They're like, okay, flight's back on. We were just testing you.
One of the key distinctions that the Stoics make is between what we do have some measure of control over and what we don't actually have control over, even though we might think that we do. And I suppose that one of the key experiences that we have to have that corresponds to that teaching is figuring out just when we don't have control. Sometimes we believe that we do. Michael gives the example of walking down the street with your phone. And if you think about what cell phones now provide us with, even the ones that aren't particularly smartphones can do an amazing amount of various activities that in many ways simplify, but also can complicate our lives, our existences. We tend to think that we have a lot more control over things than we really do, in part because things are going our way, but they're not going our way because we actually control them. It's rather things just happen to have gone along. And so if we run into an issue like he talks about, a flight cancellation, sometimes people can get extraordinarily upset about this, even though it's something that really does lie outside of their control. If you think about all that goes into making sure that the flight that they expect to be there at 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday actually makes it there in the state that they want it to be, ready for them to board at 7:05. It's almost amazing that anything does happen to go right with these complex sorts of maneuvers, orderings, however you want to call it. So Michael talks about the experience of having food poisoning as sort of a shortcut. His friend goes to a guru and has to learn this lesson through, you might say, slightly more academic means. It's quite possible for us to realize just how little control we have over, say, our own body or our finances or how other people see us by experiencing these sorts of things. Now, the question then is, are we going to react like the person whose flight is canceled and suddenly just goes, crazy about it and can't stand the fact that what they wanted to be the case isn't the case? Or are we going to accept it or at least understand it in a different manner that's going to lead to a different sort of affectivity?